So good. So good. Mm-hmm. Oh, I probably should have done this, huh? Yeah, that's what I should have done. It's a lot better now. Oh boy. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're gonna be showing off some goods today. As you guys got me for a little stint. Excuse me. Also, just curious how the oh gosh, so I'm not dying over here. Also curious how the maybe doing an earlier stream might actually work too as well. Always nice when I can get you guys, because I think we did it at 5:30 or 6 yesterday, right? Yeah, maybe an early one will be a little better. Yeah, just getting our promos out. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to be showing off how the numbers look. Then I'll probably do a video later today once it gets closer to reset too. But it is looking interesting. I will say that. Interesting as far as leaning a little bit more on the unfortunate side. All right, we're almost done. Yeah, I think there's when we checked last. Okay, it is 64. So it looks like one more because it was 63 when I took a look at it maybe an hour ago. Yeah. All right, we're almost done. And then we can, I'm going to need to do, I think, one more sweep. So we'll do one sweep through the kingdoms. I think I'm 2 kingdoms short right now. I think we have the 62 kingdoms accounted for. But I'll have to double check that too. Yeah, I also got some new stats to show off as well. So that should be pretty exciting. At least for me. All right. All right, cool. This should be the last one. I think we're good. All right. So we got 64 kingdoms at the moment. I think I'm in Kingdom 1 right now, but yeah, they didn't rag. So let me see. I think I have 62 right now that we have accounted for. But let me double check real quick. I do have 62. Okay. So we need to find the missing 2 right now, so we can update that on the board. So I've already went through 1, 2 more. Yes, I guess we'll go through 2 next. I'll probably include some of these extras as well, just so we can see how that's playing out. So excited. But yeah, we'll show you guys some numbers in a sec after I get through this first tally here, and then we can show the updated kingdoms for who is registering at the moment, or I should say out of the G1 kingdoms specifically, who is registering versus those that aren't. Okay. Oh, wow, there we go. Man, we found one. That was super fast. So I think that puts us at 63. It usually doesn't happen that fast. You'll watch now. Now it's going to take a minute for us to find something. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Yeah, right. Watch us get lucky. Just bam, 2 and 8. Just thank you. Yeah, probably not though. So we're on 9, and then we'll go to 22 next. Yeah, so 64 kingdoms have registered. We've accounted for 63 of them. We need to account for at least 1 more before I show you guys the sheet where we have some updated stats. And hopefully we'll be able to figure this last one out here. It shouldn't take too long. I anticipate it shouldn't take too long. We're just gonna have to run through a few. Would have been nice if 22 just made it easy for me there. I think we got 27 laws. Oh, maybe they did. Possibly. Yeah, as we kind of go through some of our first ones here. Oh, you know what I should be doing? There we go. I should be posting this as I go through. Okay, so not in laws, which was 27. Now we're going 31. Yeah. I doubt we'll probably see something from 31, 32, because this is POTC and Gen. But we'll see. Again, just due diligence wise, right? We do want to do our due diligence and go through just to make sure none of the yeses, because these 2 were confirmed yeses as far as they were planning to skip. So I don't foresee that being kind of a massive swing. But once we do get 1 more accounted for, then we should be good. Yeah, it's like I'm going through all of these cities, and it's like I'm going through all these kingdoms anyways. Might as well. So 32. Next one will be 34 because they weren't. And then we'll be on to FSK in 36. So this is going to be VH in 34. And we'll see if they might have. Oh gosh, chat not that active, especially when I had posted that one yesterday. And it was like 17, 16, 18 hours ago, right? So let's go 36. That'll be FSK's group. Okay, so they didn't do anything. Yeah, let me see if I post, and then when I come back next, if I'm banned. 37. Yeah, we'll see. 37's Chubb, so we're gonna check that. So again, if you're just joining us now, we're just doing a quick cycle. It won't take as long as when we did it yesterday, and that's just because I can skip all the kingdoms that I've already gone through that we know are registering. So we kind of get to do a little bit of a speed run here in a sense. So right now we're only going to be going through the kingdoms that can register but just have not. Also, there's a new batch that got added in the 450s, which is interesting, and that actually added on a few new kingdoms there too as well. So 38, now we're going to 41 to see 41. Okay, next will be 44. But yeah, so there's, let me see what the kingdoms are. So it's 441 to 452 were the ones that ended up getting added on yesterday. So that, again, that is interesting. And I think that's just because they came out of their pre-strife. So that would have been the most recent pre-strife group that ended and came out. And I think it was yesterday or the day before. So it was probably the 22nd or 23rd that happened. Okay, so nothing on 44. Was that 47? Yeah, we're going to take a look at 47 now. Yeah, we only got to find one. So hopefully we're not playing Where's Waldo that long. and we're able to find it pretty quick. And then we can kind of show off where the registrations are looking like. Oh, gosh. No, might as well. Why not? Why not be consistent? Okay, so no one there from 47. Next is going to be 49, but I doubt NTS is going to... I doubt they're going to register. They were a pretty hard skip, I think, from what Ma told me. Which, on a positive note, man, Ma is actually talking to me now. I have stopped getting responses of him saying "F you," so I feel like we've broken maybe just a little bit through his chunk of armor and layers. Maybe just the first one, because I feel like maybe I'm back in decent graces with him, which is nice. Yeah. Let's see, super funny. What's up with this moon drawing? Interesting. All right, we're going to 55 next. Excuse me. Let's get some agua up in her. Village, what's up, man? Hi from S41, what's up? Welcome. Oh my gosh, man, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen Village for a minute here. Welcome, DreamCon. What's up from 27? Hey, it's our RAC bud from yesterday. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, I probably posted too many. 55. Okay, so 55 is a no. Let's go 56 is where we'll go next. And then after that be 57, right? Yeah, I think that's where we'll be going. Yeah, so if you just joined us, welcome. As always, if you enjoy, throw us up because it helps out a lot. But right now, we're just doing a quick scan through some of the kingdoms. And, oh yeah, I hit my limit. Oh, actually, you know what I could do, huh? Will that do anything? Nope. Okay, so 56 is not where it's at. We're going 57 next to see if that might give us something. And then we'll check 60 with Echo. Again, I doubt even 57, which is NF 57, that's Nightfall's Kingdom. Then Echo, we got Eternal Chaos. So again, I don't think it's going to be anything out of the ordinary there. Yeah, it's not. So we'll go 60 next. And then once I do this quick pass through, I'm going to show you all who's registered. We'll show you the new top 300 power set. So those of you that are here with us live, you'll get a first look. I think 61. And then I'm going to talk about what I think some of the implications are. Because the data is actually pretty revealing, along with those that have registered versus those that have not yet. And it makes me think that this potential KVK pool here in the next 24 hours, when we get to the next reset, could be more on the disappointing side. And it almost makes me kind of feel bad for the kingdoms that are deciding to register. And it does come with a little bit of an asterisk, but we'll get to that once I'm able to kind of show off some of that information. It's just, I worry that it could turn out to not be the hopeful season that those that have opted and decided to register, obviously for their reasons, are hoping that it will be. I think part of it is the appeal as well of being able to play in the current season, right? So that way, or the current newest season, right? They don't want to delay, the 2 weeks or so. So there is that there. I get it. It's not it's not all bad. Huh. Can I get around with that? I can't. That's okay. I'll just continue to cry later. It's good. It's all good. I probably just have to take out the live thing or something, or like do spaces, I bet you. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's disappointing. I don't want it to be disappointing. I wish they would just let me post messages whenever I wanted to. But sometimes, beggars can't be choosers. So, all right, we're going to go to 68. And DreamCon, what's up? Yo, man, welcome. There we go. New member. My boy's in for a nickel. Ah, that's right. You are a nickel. And that's a score out of 5. Just so you know, man. Hang on, man. I'm about to throw you some confetti in the chat. I appreciate you, DreamCon. Thank you for the love, man. Thanks for the support. Means a lot. Means a lot. Means more than you know. All right, 68. We're going 70 now. Which, okay, cool. Yeah, we're moving. We're moving pretty quick here. Rhinos, what's up? Did your video come out? What kingdom registered for G1 KVK? Yes, I'll be showing that in a moment. So I'm doing a quick pass through because we have 63 out of 64 kingdoms accounted for at the moment. And so once I do this pass through, I'm going to show everyone all the kingdoms that have registered. I'm going to show you the updated top 300 power for all of those kingdoms. So you can see like what rank the kingdoms are at the moment, right? For the day one recap. And then and then which one of those have registered versus not registered. And so, yeah, we will be showing that off shortly. Again, once I finish on this pass, because I got to find one more kingdom. So if we find that kingdom from now until the next 100, I don't think I actually have to go through 100. I probably only have to go through about 40, maybe 40 more, give or take. But yeah, once we find it, then I'll transition and show the sheet. I just want to account for the 64th kingdom that has registered. So yes. And then as long as we don't get a 65th kingdom that is registered and someone's not watching and just, wanting to kind of F me over, so I'll have to restart. As long as that doesn't happen, yes, we will transition and show you guys the sheet. So, and again, if you're here on the live stream, you'll get a first look. I will most likely still be doing a video, though, to answer your question. So I'm still going to do a video. I'll probably do a short one. It'll probably be like 6-8 minutes, I'd imagine. But I'll do it after the live stream because I'll have all the data populated. So I'll do that, but I'll just condense it into a nice short video of just, hey, here's a quick overview of where the day one recap is. So that way everyone kind of has an idea on where they stand, right? So you'll still have hopefully more than 24 hours, at least for those kingdoms that are potentially still deciding, right? If they do want to register or not. I'll definitely make some points on how I feel about it once we finish doing this first pass through. I think we're going to 81 next. And then after that, it'll be 84. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Tsunami, what's up, man? Devs should just skip G2 and G3 to G1, just like what they did in the past. No, absolutely. I very much have been aligned with that. I absolutely could not agree more. And yeah, so yeah, that's 100% where I land. I think at the moment, the challenge is just having too much separation, too many isolated groups, and different KVK timeline starts. And I was making this point yesterday when we talked about it, is that it very much makes me feel and reminds me of the constant feedback that you're usually hearing from people on Roots of War, which is where, you know, you're having people that will complain about, unbalanced matchups, going against a rank that's too high or too low. Maybe the competition isn't as competitive. And it's not to say that this happens for every row matchup, but a number of them have this happen every 2 weeks. It's a constant. And part of the reason is because, and if you want to say this is the main reason, but I think it's one of the main reasons, is because they have too many dates and time slots. And it would be different if you had, 2 time slots, maybe, or 3 time slots on one day, on a Saturday or a Sunday, right? And it just, again, you have to also consider the less time slots you have, the more likely people will have to, for those that are able to, will adjust their schedules to meet those days and times. And if you have less time slots to sign up for, you have more alliances that are joining those. And the whole idea of being able to achieve a more balanced and more fair matchup is you need more participants. That's just all it comes down to. And so, yeah, when it comes to this idea of needing to, one, I mean, I've been advocating for this for a while amongst many others, which is we just need to increase the KVK kingdom pool size. And the easiest way to do it is if the devs just delayed the G1 start into G2. I mean, you only got 2 more weeks. It's like not, it's not as long as it was when you got out of KVK, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago for some. So yeah, it's not. Ooh, did I check this? Okay, good. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a no-brainer to me, right? But the challenge is that now you have the opportunity for it to potentially be worse because you're still allowing the players to choose on which KVK storyline they're going to sign up for. So you have to think about it like this. You're kind of screwed in like 3 different ways. On one hand, you're screwed because you have 2 options, but 1 each, if you want to count them, for Season of Strife and Pre-Strife. Why? Because they can sign up for, because they can sign up for the Fall of Dragon, or they can sign up for Calling His Curse. So you already have 2 splits happening. Then you have to consider your 3rd split, which is the kingdoms that are wanting to skip. So you are basically taking 1 kingdom pool, which is the G1 pool, that has up to 135 kingdoms that have a king or queen that could register. It might be a little bit more than that now. And at least I think so. Where am I on my main? So there's 135. So it's probably like 140 now, because I think there was a few more that were added. But you have, let's just say it's 135. You have 135 kingdoms that before, most of them probably weren't really considering to skip. And then you started to have this traction build up. I had covered it in a video. I'm sure it was already being discussed by some of the kingdom leads and raps and their leadership teams. And now you have this 3rd element, which is making up half to at minimum a 1/3 of that isolation. And so now you're just getting another split area that's being heavily invested to with kingdoms that are going to skip. Oh, we found it. Yes. Oh, let's get it. Oh my gosh. What are we getting? I don't know. Just information. Okay. So excited. We found him. Okay. Now, so we found the 64th kingdom. You did not hide from us long, you sneaky beaster. Now I got to make sure we're not at 65. Oh, hallelujah. Okay, good. So we're still at 64 kingdoms registered. Sickness. Now I can show you guys the sheet. You are lucky. Pray to the RNG gods that another kingdom did not register by the time I checked. Otherwise, we'd be doing this all over again. So now I'm going to show you guys the sheet for everyone that has registered. So I'm going to do this in order first because I think that'll be easier for you guys. So we'll do it in order, kingdom, top down, and then I'll organize it for you based on those that have registered. And then I'll organize it based on top 300 power, right? So I'll kind of give you 3 versions here. I'll be doing this for the video too as well. But if you're here, you're going to get a first look at it. So, you know, pat yourselves on the back because you're awesome. All right, let me switch Rooney over here for what we got. Let me catch up on chat too as well real quick. Also, man, listen, if you guys are enjoying the stream, as always, man, hit that because you know it helps get this out to that. Thank you. Okay, so chat, let me catch up real quick. RAC, bro, you have to let me know what your name is too as well. Otherwise, I'm going to have to copy paste your thing into Google Translate. One alliance for international versus one alliance China. Zal, what's up? Do you manually go to each kingdom to collect your statistics? For something like this, Zal, yes. Well, let me be very clear here. I have to go through each of the kingdoms one by one in order to figure out who registered. Now, could I wait until the registration period has ended and then just collect all of them at that time? Sure. Probably would be a little bit easier because then I don't have to go through it multiple times. But if you want to get the data in real time, this, for at least for registration, because you can't see who registers without having a character in the kingdom. If you're asking about other data, as far as stats, I used to do this manually up until maybe they had around 350 kingdoms out, and then maybe even 400. I can't recall really when I had stopped. I had to go back and look at my notes. But now I work with my buddy Fuzzy, who's a software engineer, and he does game-wide data pools. And so I collaborate with him to show off a lot of the number stats that you'll see me do videos on. But there's always going to be some things I will have to do that will go through. That will be going through a manual process, essentially. And there's just some things you have to do that way. Now, I have an account in every kingdom. I think with the exception of 614 or 615 if those are new, right? So I have 613 characters or accounts in the game in 613 kingdoms. But again, it's not as much work for me because I keep up with it. So I'll make 2 or 3 accounts every couple days, right? So I don't have to do like a mass account creation. Billy, what's up? Realistically, nobody is going back to Calling of Courage though. Billy, you'd be surprised, Billy. And I will tell you, there is a handful of kingdoms that have actually signed up already for Calling of Courage. There is 4 to be exact. And I will show you them. However, the Calling of Courage in-game, I think, says 3. That's when I last checked it. So it just may not have updated yet. Yeah. Pooh says, let me just read 1 or 2 more and then we'll scroll through. 23 might reconsider skipping. Same with 279. So that's 2. So same with 279. So that's 2 top C seed king alliances gone. I think making players choose is a dumb choice made by devs. I mean, listen, I feel that it's kind of a 2-way approach on it, right? I think there are some pros and cons, but I think for something like this, because the kingdom pool, the KVK kingdom pool isn't large enough yet, that needs to be the primary focus. That's the priority above everything else, is we need to make the pool as big as possible. And when you allow players to choose that, you always have this chance of having more separation and more splits and more splitting. And that's, I think, what we're seeing right now. I wish, in my view, as I've said this yesterday and before, I would have loved for the dev team to just auto delay all of the Gen 1 kingdoms coming out to March 4th so they could line up with Gen 2. That's what I believe should have happened. And I think that we'd be in a much better spot if that did happen as well. They just needed to combine it. So anyways, with that in mind, and then, Yami, what's up, Yami? What up, girl? Good call not letting Wrecking Ball in the VC during this time. Hey, man, Wrecking's all right. Wrecking's good, dude. But yeah, for something like this, I don't know if we're going to do any kind of like COD After Dark. That's usually for the evening time when we potentially bust that out. So Let me go through. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Let me go through the list now, top down, and then we're going to do some sort ordering so you guys can see that. Again, if you're joining now, you're going to get a first look. And so, yeah. And as always, if you enjoy, make sure to throw it. Thanks. Okay. So here we go. So we got, again, X, to be clear here, right? Just so I can give some context. If it says X, that means that they have registered for Fall of Dragon, which is quote unquote season 3. If it says X-COC, that means that they have registered for Calling of Courage. Right now, this is from all the kingdoms that are in pre-war for Season of Strife and all the kingdoms that are in pre-war for pre-Strife. Again, just to get that out of the way. Okay, so here we go. And again, I'll go through this at kind of like a decent-ish pace, but I'll pause so you guys can see. And I'm going to show this as well in an easier way right after we go through each one. This is just in kingdom order chronologically. So that way, those of you, and again, I'll pause a little bit too as well. I'm not going to go through it too fast, right? Because I'm sure some of your kingdoms are here. You also get an idea. I'm also showing you top 300 updated stats that were pulled today from Fuzzy. So shout out to Fuzzy. And if anyone's interested in getting, DataBot information, there's a link on the Discord under on my Discord, and there's a link in the pinned comment here in chat. You just have to go to the support BN channel to join the Discord server there. But we're showing data pulled 8 days ago and then data pulled today. I think this is right? 52? Yeah. Yeah, so we're good there. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we are going through all the kingdoms right now in G1 to show you who has registered. At the moment, there is 64 kingdoms that have registered. Unless that has changed a moment ago. I'm actually going to double check that too as well. But when we started, still 64. So 64 kingdoms have registered. We have accounted for all 64. So we're going through right now, and I'm showing you, but we'll do it in an easier way again, as I said in a moment. After we get through all these, this is just to let you guys kind of see what some of the numbers are, if you want to try and find your kingdom, so that way you don't have to necessarily pause the stream if you want to look, right? So kind of give everyone a little bit of time. But we're going to show you all 64 kingdoms, at least now, as we're coming up to the end of day 1. We only got a couple hours left as we're about almost 20 hours into the first day. So this is just kind of more of a recap to show you who has registered, and then we'll do this in, like I said, a little bit more of an easier to digest way as well. Yeah. D-ball, what? Daddy's here. Hey. All right, papi. All right. Yeah, don't worry. I'm probably not going to yell too much. Continuing. That actually took a lot of energy. 26, where am I? Pussy says, yeah, I agree. That would be the best choice possible. And G3 is also full of active servers, so they should also let them go to G1. I mean, yeah. Listen, man, my thing is pretty simple. Just merge them all, make all the heroes accessible. So that way, if you want to pay to win it, if you want to spend on a hero, like to be clear there, right? So it doesn't sound like a super hot take. What I really mean is like, just make all the heroes accessible in daily deals, make them all accessible in wheel. So you can just kind of choose who you want. And then, and then just combine the kingdoms. That way you don't have to worry about this whole like hero G1, G2, G3 timing. Right? Just let the KVK seasons represent themselves if you want to have season 1 through 3. But, that's one of the main complaints you usually hear from people is that, oh yeah, I don't want to go to this gen, or I don't want to scoot up, or I don't want to face these people because we don't have some of these heroes yet. Well, how do you solve that problem? You just make all the heroes accessible through choice. Right? And then sure, could you still add more of them to gold chests? Abso-freaking-lutely. God, I've been advocating for that for years, it feels like. And I'll keep doing it. Like I've said this multiple and countless times. My view on it is that every single hero should be accessible in gold chests. But if you want to have a period of time that they are only accessible through spending means in the beginning, if it's for the first month, 2 or 3 months, I'm okay with that, right? But after that, they should then get added to, not taken away from spending means, but getting added to the gold chests. To me, I think those are the two biggest things for me when it comes to KVK pools, matchmaking, and hero character accessibility. And the same thing for artifacts as well, right? Same concept applies. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, a free-to-play player isn't just all of a sudden going to max out all the heroes and all the artifacts just because you've added them to the compendium and to gold chests. Come on now. It's still going to take a long time. Like, let's be real. But the concept will appeal more appeal to more people, and it will appear more free-to-play friendly, right? That's kind of the idea. Yeah. Okay. So we've gone through this now. Now I'm going to show you all of the kingdoms that have registered, and I'm going to show that to you top down, and then we'll show you it based on power for the kingdoms, right? And again, this is data pulled today. Let's do that. So we'll do a little sorty sort. Okay. These are also going to be in number order to the left as well, right? But this is where you can see all the kingdoms that have registered for DF. I said DF, but it's Fall of Dragon. We know. I'm too lazy to type in the acronym. So, let me read the chat here real quick. Zal, a video idea for you: rankings based on conquest achievement merits per troop type. So I don't know if you can see merits per troop type unless that's in the conquest or achievement section for each person. From my understanding, you only have a total merits. I would love if we could see a tier kill, tier heal, tier death, and tier merits breakdown in a player's profile by clicking on those things, or even if it just presents it as another dropdown for that kind of PvP section or stat section, that would be fantastic. I think that's absolutely something that needs to happen. Billy says, wish the devs would see that so many people are delaying and just force delay everyone so we're on the same reg cycle. I mean, Billy, again, wisdom, like you are killing it right now with the level of logic and common sense that's being displayed via the chat RSS feed. Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, listen, this is the first KVK. I shouldn't even say this is the first. This is the KVK that has had the most amount of kingdoms that want to skip and that are skipping, right? All the other KVKs have probably never had more than maybe 5 to 10 at a time, and probably more along the lines of 5 that have skipped. At the moment, you have at least 4 to 5 times that amount of kingdoms that are going to skip, or at least that are planning to skip at the moment. And I'll show you those numbers too as well. So I think with everything in mind, yeah, you have a number of people that are telling you what they want. And I think that that's a good thing where the COD team can kind of listen to the community because they're kind of shouting that from the rooftops. We've been saying that for a while as well, and we'll keep advocating for it. Okay. Let me show you guys this, and then we'll read some more chat. So, and as always, if you're just tuning in, right, we're showing you the Gen 1 kingdoms for all of them that have registered at this moment. There should still be 64 of them. We're going to show you the 64 that have registered. And again, as always, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you throw us up because it helps get this out to that. Thank you. Okay. So you guys have been looking at this one for a little while, so we'll scroll down here and we'll show you guys from 20 down to 38. Right, these are all the kingdoms. Again, it is in chronological order, so it's not like you really have to look for it. But these are all the kingdoms, again, that have registered at the moment. Let me double check, too, as well, because I'm in a kingdom currently. And, okay, we're still at 64. So no new kingdoms have registered at this moment. So that means that we're still accuratado. And then we will... And if you're wondering what the pink means... The pink means that those are kingdoms that did not have a king or queen initially, but recently got a king or queen, right? For those of you curious there. It was 38, right? Yeah. Okay. While we're showing this, let me get through some chat. Oh, Betsy. All right, that was a test. That was a test. I made it. It wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good. I barely escaped with my lungs intact. Okay, let's continue down. Oh God, that was intense. That was a moment. Oh, Betsy. All right, let's see. Let me catch up on chat now that I'm done dying. Sorry, Rhino says your list is from small to highest kingdom number. I'm curious, what's the highest kingdom power? Yeah, no, I'm gonna show that to you guys next. That's the next one. Monarch 199 registered KVK. Yeah, Billy, I think it'd be most fair if we got the previous gen in Gold. I mean, again, I'm just happy with them adding more, right? I just don't believe that you should have them never getting added to gold chests. I just think that it has to be something set kind of on a timer. Let me see here. Billy says, Leah, like once Gen 4 comes out, we get Gen 3 heroes in gold. I mean, yeah, like that would even be better than what we have now. Absolutely. Jeremy says, are you going to do that for G2? What do you mean, Jeremy? Oh, sorry. You mean like this sheet? Is that what you mean? Like what I'm showing? If that is what you mean, then yes. And then yes, I will be doing this for G2 as well. Billy has said we don't have Metalink in our, yeah. G4 should not come as we have 6 week span. Yeah. 3 COC. Yeah. Well, technically there's actually 4 COC. It just hasn't picked it up. So these 4 kingdoms have registered for COC as of when I checked it before I went live. So I think there's a delay on the in-game, or maybe it's not counting it because this was like a newer one. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not sure why it's not doing it. Let me see here. It will all feel camp. Yeah. It's such a joke. Yeah, I no, agree. At least like the 3 in COC is such a joke. That's not even enough to have 1 per camp. It's not. And the challenge is that what may happen from that, as an example, is when registration finishes and you get to matchmaking, you also have to keep in mind that there's like this extra pool there's an extra pool of kingdoms that are not able to register, right? So maybe they're not strong enough to have a king or queen. You also have to think about it will pool, P-U-L-L, no pun intended. It's going to pool kingdoms that either did not register or could not register and potentially push some of those kingdoms into the COC KVK pool, which means that it would be taking away from those that could have went into the new season 3 Falling of Dragon. So yeah, it's obviously not, I think, the best idea. I don't know why, especially in this case where you have RR84 and 384. I mean, you're 11 and you're almost 12 bill. Again, you're not a small alliance. Even the 4.5, I don't think is bad here, right? For MNFG and Kingdom 6. I mean, even if they're potentially just doing a rebuild or whatever it may be, I mean, you still have some decent power. You could utilize that within a larger pool. So yeah, I just, again, I don't know. What I know is from, what I will say I know is that, so it's not, maybe I don't know anything, but I remember the COC groups that got formed last season, and those ones did not have a great time. They were pretty imbalanced, and that's because there wasn't a lot of people that registered for it. I also just believe that they should only have 1 KVK storyline per season, and once you get to Season of Strife, it should just rotate. So one season you can do Falling of Dragon, the next season Calling of Courage, and then anyone that joins the Season of Strife KVK pool just gets added into that, right? So for me, that's the way I would like to see it done. Okay, now let's go ahead and throw it into, and the main reason for that is just so you have the largest KVK kingdom pool possible, right? So you get the most fair, most balanced matchups that could possibly be had because you have all the eligible kingdoms kind of in one pool. Okay. Now, let me see here. I just want to make sure I'm all caught up, and then I'm going to show you guys the top 300 power as well. Yeah, we can't. Yami says it will fill all the kingless servers into Calling of Courage like it did last time. Yeah, hopefully not. Jeez. Yami says maybe if they did 12 servers per side, 4 of them will be able to do some. Yeah, Rhino. So, oh my God, NALTS, MM register. These are big kingdoms. Yeah. I know what the big. Jeez, man. God. I'm done. Rip BN lost to his Drake. Yeah, right, don't die. Okay, let's go ahead and show this off. Yeah, and if you guys are enjoying, as always, man, remember, throw us off because it helps out a lot. Okay, so let's take a look at top 300 power here to show you guys where we're at. So, yeah, and if I do a little grid, I could filter this more where we just look at the top ones that are registered. But keep in mind, this data was pulled today, so it's very recent. And this is where you can see, and I even showed you the before too as well, right? So we did a Fuzzy did pull 8 days ago, and then we have, excuse me. Yeah, but then we have the one done today and 8 days ago from these. So you guys get to see the difference there. So at the moment, we have 41 through 57, right? So you got the top 7 kingdoms right now based on power pooled that have not registered. It doesn't mean that some of these could still not register. Some of them could. Oh, sorry. It doesn't mean that some of them could still register. Did I say not register? Yeah, that does not sound right. But at the moment, you have the top 7 kingdoms that have not registered currently. WGL, NA from 286 and 30 are the strongest kingdoms that have registered at the moment for Falling of Dragon from the Gen 1 pool. Next, we got 276, 176, so it's KOV, KODS, right? They're coming in at about 20 bill. They have not registered at the moment. Then we have from 134, LTS. They just recently registered. And then you have HOUW from 222. They haven't. And also, if you're curious, right, this answer where it says, are they going to skip? 286 was a no. They told me they would not skip. NA was undecided. LTS specifically told me when I had reached out to their leadership team that they would skip. They obviously didn't, right? So they opted to register. Now, again, people can change their mind. That's fine. I just, for historical accountability, I'm showing that to you so you guys can see that, hey, when I reached out to the leadership team a number of days ago, right, they told me that they were going to skip, but in this case, they registered. And so then we have, sorry, who do we have here? Let me see here. So, oh, also, for those of you wondering, let me show you this before I continue, because this might actually crush some souls, potentially. I hope it doesn't, but like I said, you know, for those of you who've kind of made your bed, you know, and where you're going to land in it. So let's go to Rise of Dragons introduction. There is a line in here. If we go to season, oh crap, where is it? Where's my thing? Oh, is it features? Hang on, I think it's features, isn't it? No, it's not features, it's here. Yep. Okay. So if we look at the rules, and you see here where it says registration. Somebody had pointed this out to me yesterday. The very first line says, after registration ends, right, the High King will be unable to change the scenario. Realms registered for the same scenario will be matched with each other according to the rules. So what this states is that you can still change. It is not over for you. You could still leave the dark side, LTS, and others. We believe in you. So basically, you have until. So what it states is that you can unregister and register for something else or not register at all altogether. But you only have until the end of the registration period. So with that in mind, let's go back. And again, some of you might have known that, some of you may not have known that. But again, just wanted to state that for the fam, if you will. So from here, we have, like I said, 276 LTS. Okay, then we have HUW. They have not registered at the moment. 62 for FG. I reached out to them, but I didn't hear anything back. They have registered. FSK, pretty much everyone from their team has me blocked. That's okay. I still love you, boo-boos. But they have not registered either. So 219 has registered. However, they told me that they were not going to skip, i.e. register, right? So that falls in line. As we move down, we have SSG. They told me they were going to skip. Accurate. Yes, yes, yes. right? The only interesting ones here to me is that Scent said no, that they were going to skip, or sorry, that they were going to register. They have not registered yet. So I feel like we have a little bit of a win already. There is some excitement and buzz generating. Maybe we're having more kingdoms and more alliances realize that if they stay registered, you will have a smaller kingdom pool for KVK teams and matchmaking than you did last season. How much of a freaking disappointment would that be? And let me show you what that was for Gen 1. So, Gen 1 had 95 kingdoms that registered last season. At the moment, you only have 64 kingdoms that have registered in nearly the first 24 hours. If you do not get more than 95 kingdoms, or I would argue close to that number, all that's going to happen is that you are then going to have a higher percentage chance of having imbalanced teams and imbalanced matchmaking. It doesn't mean that every single one will be, but the chances will be higher because you have a smaller kingdom pool. This is the whole freaking point, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a difficult concept to understand. More kingdoms in a pool, better matchmaking, better balance. It can be more fair. The percentage chance is higher for that to be. Smaller kingdom pool, higher chance for it to be unfair, more imbalanced, more power dispersed. It's a layup. So yeah, again, based on how this looks right now, I would be shocked if we don't see some of the kingdoms that have opted to register unregister and do skip. Because at the moment, your pool is about 2/3 the size of what the Gen 1 pool was last season. Listen, I get it. You may not necessarily want to skip because you feel that, oh, I have to wait 2 more weeks, or, oh, my kingdom's already, getting agitated and they're getting annoyed and they want to go. Let me tell you what will have players more agitated, more annoyed, more disappointed, more willing to drop activity or quit, is if they have to go through another imbalanced KVK group where they don't get a lot of PvP. I'll tell you right now, that's more important to players than whether or not they're going to have to wait 2 more weeks for the KVK to start. And I'm sorry, but you're not going to tell me otherwise, because that's the number one most important thing is players, because you have to understand, you waiting 2 weeks is not the same as you having a farmer KVK or a farming KVK where you have to spend the next 40 days disappointed and not getting good matchups where your players can really enjoy PvP to the fullest extent. And again, asterisk, I'm not saying every KVK matchup is going to end up that way. But if you're going to have a smaller kingdom pool, that percentage of chance for it to be a disappointing KVK is going to be that much higher. It just is what it is. Facts on facts, pimpin'. All right. Let's continue. So as I was saying, Scent. So again, I have some hope for Scent here is what I'm trying to say. Is 240, they said no, that they were going to register. They haven't yet. So +2 points to you at the moment until I see otherwise. DBB said they were going to skip. They haven't registered yet. So again, they're following through. We got Kingdom 27, which is Laws. They said they were going to register. They have not registered yet. I'm excited. Keep doing you, boo-boos. We got number 6, or number 67, which is, number 24, Kingdom 67. They said yes, they would skip. They haven't registered yet. Voss, which is the number 25 ranked kingdom here at 16.78 bill. They said no, they were going to register, or no to skipping, register. So they did that. That's accurate. Law from 119 said that they would skip if others did. So they're following through so far. VP22, maybe some potential here. I did talk with the VP22 head, or the R5 a little while ago, and he did respond back to me saying that I believe they were planning to register, but at the moment, they haven't. So I am just going to pray to the RNG gods, which is Bejesus and COD Zezus. Thank you. So yeah, we'll see if that ends up working out. Kingdom 3, which is RK, they said no, they were not going to skip and register. They did. MFD said they would skip, followed through on what they said. YBD, I didn't hear back from. They opted to register. 282 said that they were going to register, so not skip. They did. EIS said they're going to skip, followed through on that. KL7, 14BS, they said they weren't going to skip. They registered. Good there. MBH was undecided. That was the last thing they told me. But they basically said they wanted to wait until they saw the map. The map has obviously already been visible since registration, so they opted to skip. Let's go. Was that OEV? Okay. So here's the next ones for you guys as we work our way down to about 10 bill. So here we have 287. I reached out, didn't hear anything back. They registered. 85 and 229, so that's P2W and CNN. They told me that they were going to register. They followed through on that. NXW, I didn't hear back from, though I reached out to one of the leadership, one of the management reps on Discord. Just didn't hear back. They registered. JKL, giving me a little more hope, too, as well here. They said no to skipping, that they were going to register, but they haven't done it yet. So, a little bit of hope. Pray to God Jesus. Number 41. 284 said yes. So this is interesting. 284 said yes, they would skip if others skipped. Well, we know that others are skipping. So to me, again, RNW, not really to me, they just swapped. That's the easiest way to say it. They changed their mind. So they registered. 87 for DK, they were undecided, still have not registered, which is great. 44, they said yes, they're skipping, following through. NASTi said no, they're going to register, they did. R84, they registered for COC. UST, I didn't hear back from, they registered. We got VH, -FU, shout out to Snowman63, because he's running the alliance over there. Riken, free-to-play lead in position. Solid stuff. We got ASI. So this gives me a little hope. ASI from 300 said that they were going to register and skip and not skip. They have not registered yet. So we'll see. ANCS hasn't registered, followed through. WAN AOS said that they would register. They did. BXS said they would skip. Chubb said they would skip. All of those following through so far. Then we get to the next group, which is BOM. So right now we're kind of getting 10, low 8 bills at the moment. Let me not die. So here, we got yes, skip. If others, they haven't registered yet. NOAV from 7. Gray. Unit RGU 316-151. OR. And 73. All said no. The only kind of outliers here would have been AVIC. They did tell me from 226 that they would skip if others did. They changed their mind, opted to register. RR was undecided, and 54 from K54 I never heard back from. These are all the others here that have opted to skip and have not registered at the moment. The next group we have here is one nice outlier so far, which is Kingdom 161. They're at about 8 bill. They said they were going to skip, or sorry, not skip, but they haven't registered yet. So I'm a little excited there. Kingdom 181 said yes, yes. Now this is interesting. SIW told me that they would skip. So I wish we could put some for shame gifts in the chat. I definitely would for shame you. But yeah, so they changed. They said they'd skip, they registered. We got one LF here. So Kingdom 1 said that they were not going to skip and would register, but they haven't signed up yet. Same thing with MVP from 236. They haven't registered yet either. And then we have, who else? Some no-nos, undecideds. We got a yes. ANGE from 235 said they would skip. They changed their mind. They registered, so for shame. ANGE, just absolute shamelessness. I mean, it's appalling to me right now, just the amount of shame that we should be shaming those shamesters with. A good old bag of shameroonie. Okay, and then we'll go to the next one. Okay, then the next ones we have here, and again, I'll probably limit it here to about the 5 bill club for what we have so far. Yeah. So DTF from 148 did tell me that they would skip if others did. We know others were skipping. They changed their mind and registered. We have OJC 84 hasn't. Yeah, they had not really blocked. It's just more of like we didn't want to respond to you because you are who you are. I don't know what that means, but that's the response I got from the lead. Undecided, they did LOPV from 265s, got some hope. They said that they were going to register, but they have not yet. Another one, HOGW 277, similar situation. They haven't registered yet. And then I think that's probably about what I got, right? Oh, yeah, these are some of the ones at threes that we had. So, like 376 said they were going to skip, they registered. And then, yeah, right, these are just some of the lower powers that we have right now. And that's it. That's pretty much everyone that we got at the moment for where everyone is planning to go. I'll just change this up. So those of you who are just curious on kind of who's skipping. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's count the amount of kingdoms that are not going to skip, right? So those of you curious with those that are, or sorry, the amount of people that are going to skip, right? Because that would probably be like the opposite at that point. So, Okay. All right. I think I'm back. Are we good? Am I back? Hopefully I'm back. That was weird. Okay. Sweetness. You guys can hear the subtle, sultry octaves of my pipe. Thank you. And I mean on the top and on the bottom, you sick individuals. Okay, yes. So however long I was talking and whatever I was saying was basically me. I was just going over everyone that had registered and not registered at the moment. But I think I said that there was 84 kingdoms at the moment that have registered. Or sorry, 84 kingdoms at the moment that have not registered that would be skipping. There was, I think we said 72 or 74 kingdoms that are over 1 bill power that have not registered, i.e. are planning to skip. So again, at the moment, that would mean our numbers. Hang on, let's show it to you like this. Right, so that would mean our numbers would be skip 84, register 64. So that's where we're at right now. Right? That's how it looks if you're looking at all the kingdoms that have a king or queen, right? Which at the moment it's 148. So yeah, that number's increased from 135. So there's been 13 more kingdoms that have been added on there. But these are all the kingdoms that have a king or queen. This is the amount right now that is planning, that I shouldn't say is planning, but that is expected to skip versus the amount that is currently registering. So again, that's not a lot. It's not a lot. That's why I'm saying, man, it's really disappointing because the people that are going to skip are going to most likely have a better KVK experience because their kingdom pool will be larger. Now, there are some asterisks and some caveats there, but the fact is that you're comparing, like, even if we look at this, right? So we look at the S1. So let's look at G1 KVK. Had 95. G1 KVK. Let's do this. Registration. And then I'll move this out a little bit. So G1. Oh, sorry. Let's just do the whole thing. Okay, here you go. So G1 KVK registration had 95 kingdoms register. You're only at 64. That's 2/3. 84 kingdoms out of the pool right now have not registered and are expected to skip. Again, I imagine that number is going to go down a little bit more because we still have a little more than 24 hours until registration finishes. However, I could also see the number going up. If you end up having some of the people that have registered that become aware of how the numbers look and that their kingdom pool right now is 2/3 the size of what the G1 KVK kingdom pool was, that may sway some people over to be like, listen, I don't want to be in this low amount of kingdoms KVK pool because that's just a higher percentage chance for us to have imbalanced teams and imbalanced matchups, and that could ruin the KVK season even more for us. Now, all of a sudden, waiting 2 weeks is starting to seem a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more interesting. So, because I'll tell you right now, however many kingdoms skip will absolutely, I would say 99.9% of them will register for Falling of Dragon. You're not going to get people skipping G1, going into G2, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, you guys would be awesome, let's skip again. No, they're not going to skip. They're going to go into Fall of Dragon. So you have to look at the 84 number at the moment as 99% of those kingdoms that will skip will go into the next Falling of Dragon KVK. So you're already guaranteed to have more kingdoms in the next pool just based on the number that are skipping. Isn't that hilarious? And then you have to think about the amount of kingdoms in the G2 pool, which is this number, 101 kingdoms that have a king or queen, 123 kingdoms. So then you have to potentially add up to 123 kingdoms that could register as well. Now you're looking at about a 200 kingdom pool. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that. I think it will probably be something maybe around 170, 160, 180. I think that's probably more of a conservative estimate, right? Maybe 175, 180. But it's still going to be the largest kingdom pool in history thus far. My thing is, why don't you want to be a part of that? Again, I just think there's a lot more pros than there are cons when you really break everything down, to me, on why up to everyone should be skipping from Gen 1 to Gen 2. But again, people can make their own choice. And I only hope that it's not going to be disappointing for the kingdoms that are staying and will register for this season. Now again, if your kingdom does not care at all about performance, you don't care at all about the amount of PvP you may or may not get, and every player or all of the potential fighters in your kingdom do not care what they get out of this upcoming season for those in Gen 1, then okay, you probably have, or any reason related to that. You probably have, you're probably one of the outliers, right? I would say. And if that's the case, then more power to you, right? Because that will probably allow for you to keep a lot more players in the kingdom compared to them leaving, right? Or any that I should say may leave. But I just hope that it doesn't end up being what I project it will be if the numbers do not get higher. So again, I just think it's unfortunate, right? That's where I land on it. So, but yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, let me catch up on some chat. Also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you throw us out because it helps out a lot. Okay. Explain. You're good. We're back. Where did IMB for 229 go? We can do this. So they registered. But I think they're CNN now for 229. Yeah. Unless you're talking about IMB the Alliance. But yeah. Ooh, well, look at that. One more kingdom registered. Should we hunt? Should we hunt for them? We should, because it's fun. Okay, let's hunt. One more kingdom registered. Yeah, we'll scoot this over here. Actually, it's okay. I'll probably just keep. Oh, God, that would have been so lucky. Just give me that Kingdom 1. Just do it and just make my life easier. Yeah, right. Bull Butu, you said S27 skipping? Laws at the moment. Yes, at least they haven't registered currently. Unless we find them in one of these kingdoms that has registered, because a new kingdom just registered. So we are going on the hunt to find you. You cannot hide from me. Yeah. Painful says nice. I guess I guess between 60 and 70. Yeah. No, man, you'd be spot on. Spot on that one. Yeah, and again, I think there will be some variance there, but I don't expect it to be too much. Especially because, most likely in the first 24 hours, you're probably going to have the most amount of teams that are going to register. Bruno, what's up? Maybe we get to see a big 3 teams versus 3 big teams in Zone 2. Yeah, maybe. No, absolutely. Okay. Let's see if we could find the next one here for 27. Yeah, right. Painful. All teams trying to grow and be competitive should skip simple. All teams that have nothing to lose or no growth should register. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, I think that's probably, I think that's like a decent sum up for sure. $31, I think we got 32. Yeah. Britta says, what if they all skip and go to Gen 3 to fight BTX? Hilarious. That'd be funny. I don't think it'd be worth it, but I think it would be funny. Yeah. Yeah. Like everyone from those kingdoms just makes a scout in BTX in 99 for BTX and just be like, yo, hey, just so you know, we're all skipping to come to you. Yeah, no, that could be absolutely hilarious. 32, we're going 34 next. And then we got FSK after this check. Yeah, Brutus says, I just think that all this gen thing should end and it should just all be one big pool. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very aligned there. Painful says, surprised RFF and MM didn't skip. Oh, interesting. Oh, why do you say that? Do you know something we don't know? Is it because like a rebuild thing? Or maybe they just weren't that active in their KVK? Yeah. Painful says, big teams not skipping already know who they're potentially going to face next season. I feel like they will be very bored. I mean, this is the thing, man, is that you also, and Painful, you bring up another great point here, which is that people have to remember that you are, by not skipping, you are also, and let me be very clear here. By not skipping, if you are in a position where you can fight and you're not just looking to rebuild, get new people in, no one really wants to fight that season. You took a poll, everyone agreed, hey, we're okay just farming and repowering up, etc., retraining. You also have to consider that you would be facing similar faces again, and probably more likely to potentially face those that you may have faced last season because of those that are leaving and those that are staying. And I guess maybe that could kind of still be 50-50, but you're not facing anyone new, right? You're going to get this. You're going to get the same people, potentially the same people from the same pool, but the pool's smaller now. So yeah, that actually is another good point. Is that sadly you're not going to get the opportunity to go up against anyone new. So yeah, I guess that is another good angle to look at it from. It's rough. That's what I'm saying. It's rough, man. It sucks. Part of me just would have loved for the dev team just to take it into their own hands, man. Just force delay everyone in Gen 1 and push them into Gen 2. Right? Because then at least at that point, you would have also taken the potential pressure and stress away from the kings and queens who might have been having people say, well, we want to register. We don't want to skip. Now it's less pressure because they wouldn't have had a choice. Right? So you also would have been able to kind of help the kings or queens skip with taking a lot less potential backlash compared to if they did skip and everyone said that they didn't want to skip, right? So that's and again another angle, and that one falls a little bit more on the COD team and the devs because I just wish they would have done that. So hopefully maybe for the next season. I will pray. I'm going to pray to God Jesus. See if the RNG gods can love us. They want to go into 51. Yeah. Oh my gosh, come on. We are going to find you. You cannot hide from us. Yeah. Zabe, what's up? I don't see a reason for mid-tier kingdoms to skip if 10 billion was a B tier in Gen 2, which means mid-tier just do not exist in Gen 2. Yeah. Yeah. So we did 51. I think we're in 55, right? And then 56. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Jeremy. I just saw your post. Thank you, though. Like it's not 55. Yo, watch them be like it's not 55 and then they registered. Just damn, man. I would have felt morally betrayed. Painful. I mean, RFF and MM are good, solid teams. Thought they would want to fight in a bigger pool. They still have a lot of actives and new recruits. Yeah, no, absolutely. To be honest, I'm very much feeling that way about quite a few of the kingdoms that have decent power that opted to skip. Yeah, it's just, man, it's just really rough. Just not something I would have expected. Oh, cool. I just got some Amazon packages. Dope. 7. Again, I know checking 60 and 61 is probably just, we know that they're not going to register, but just for the sake of consistency and due diligence, we will check. $61. Okay, then we'll go to 64 next. People says, I agree. G1 and G2 were so close anyway to merging. Devs should have had everyone in G1 wait extra 10 days. I mean, yeah, it's basically about 2 weeks, right? That's what we're really talking about. You're talking about 2 weeks of time that separates you from now until March 4th. It technically, by the time registration ends on the 26th, you would only be a week away. Right now, as of today, you are 8 days away from joining the G2 pool. By the time registration ends on the 26th, you will be 6 days away from when the G2 pool. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You would only have to wait 6 more days until the G2 pool comes out. And then, yeah, you still might have to wait a week or so until they start their timeline, right? But still, you would already see a tangible change by feeling a level of almost relief and satisfaction knowing that you are in a massively bigger pool. So yeah, the fact that we're 8 days away and by the time registration ends, it's only going to be 6 days away. And that's all you'd have to wait just until you get into the pool, even though it is still probably more about 2 weeks before your timeline starts. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I just don't see how you outweigh that. I don't see how your pendulum leans more in favor of you registering to potentially have a less exciting, less engaging, less overall PvP active KVK across your next 40 days versus waiting up to 2 weeks to get a pool 2 to 3 times your size. Like I just, again, like I said, with some of the exceptions we mentioned before, if you are an active kingdom, if you are a kingdom that has decent power, you have fighters, you have the capability to actually contribute, produce, and engage in your KVK on the field, yeah. I'm not gonna understand that one. I can understand if we were a month away, 3, 4, 5 weeks away, but we're not. And on top of that, this is something, and let me bring up another point here that I don't think anyone has mentioned yet, is that this isn't like we're calling for this out of thin air. This is something that the kingdoms themselves, maybe not all of the kingdoms, but a healthy number of kingdoms and kingdom leadership has been asking for. People have advocated for this. It's not like I'm the only one preaching this from the rooftops. A number of people. If you think about all the kingdoms at the moment that have not registered and that are planning to skip, there's your answer. A healthy number of kingdoms have been wanting to get a larger kingdom pool And a number of them started to see this as their first option. That's why it got as big as it is now. So that, I think, is the other element that we have to consider is you still have some kingdoms that are registering, even though probably some of them at some point advocated for having a larger pool. So it's like, why not take that opportunity? My passion bubble is exploding. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. So I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's just a bunch of malarkey that's going on right now. That's what it is. And I'm not satisfied. Bang. Okay, we're back. $68. Oh, I think we're 67, right? No, we are 68. Okay, cool. So now we're going to 70. All right, I got to try and find this soon. 70, right? Yeah. Yeah, right. Pocket, what's up, man? Does the Kingdom Migration cap go up after the first Season of Strife? No. Well, I believe it caps after Season of Strife. So you have so the cap goes up once you get once you I think it's once you pre-war season 2 and then pre-war pre-strife and then I think pre-war season. So I guess technically yeah, but I guess really what you're asking is does it go up pre-war season of strife after? From my understanding, it increases 3 times. I have not, I do, my educated guess based on me looking at the cap and also pulling data for each season's power cap and what the full status thresholds are, is that once Season of Strife ends and you get into pre-war, your cap is already maxed at that point. And I could show you some numbers too as well, because we have pulled some data on that before. I think I've done this 2 or 3 times where I go in and I look at all the kingdoms in each season, and then I look at which ones are full and crowded, so I can show you kind of what the caps are at, just in the event that maybe they've adjusted them by chance. But I don't know if I've looked at the kingdoms specifically coming out of Season of Strife. Because I think my understanding has been that they're already at max cap after coming out of Season of Strife. So what that means is, like, I think the last potential cap increase would be coming out of pre-strife when you're in pre-war to go into Season of Strife. And I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that as well. I don't know if I've examined that part specifically, where I've tracked kingdoms and looked at what their power and what their activity status was, and then the moment their KVK ended, looked to see if they went from full to crowded or crowded to active. That's what I would have to do to confirm that part. Again, just for transparency, right? So it can be figured out. I just I haven't specifically done that part. So yeah, but that's also why I believe the cap increases at pre-war, because you can't increase anything in season 1, because when you're in pre-war, you can bring people in, right? So your cap would kind of have to increase, is my understanding behind it, because that's your first opportunity for migration when you get out of season 1, which is going into pre-war before season 2. So that's why my best guess is that the caps would increase across the first 3 seasons for the first pre-wars. $71, I think 174 next. Yep. And 77. Yeah. Painful says pay to win is understandable in terms, if not of not skipping. They had a rough season. Yeah. Facts. G1 will have to wait anyway after this season for G2. I'm sure devs will merge us after the season anyway. I hope they do. I mean, they have talked about doing that 2-week in between time, right, for the KVKs to start. So hopefully they'll just, kind of utilize that along with the shorter seasons, where everyone, I think, will be on the shorter season timelines by next season for the 40 days. So, because you still got to wait for some of the current KVKs to finish right before they get on to the new 40-day season for Season of Strife. I think we're going 78 here, and then it's going to be 80. Yeah. Is what we got next. Right? Painful says people could be antsy to fight though after this last disappointing season. I don't know. 8 days is nothing tough. Yeah. I mean, like I said, people are going to have their reasons, right? For why they want to register, why they don't want to register, or sorry, I should say in this case for why they want to register, right? And that could very much be one of them. My thing is, as long as you understand the differences and what can potentially happen if you do register for this season and you are okay with it, as long as you and your kingdom are okay with the fact that these things can happen and very well may happen, and you understand that, and you're going in registering full well knowing that, I'm okay with it. Right? And when I don't know, it's not even really about me. It's they should be okay with it. Right? So you shouldn't see any complaints, is what I'm trying to say. No one should have the right to complain if you're going into that KVK fully aware of what could or could not happen. Because if I see any complaining, I'm going to pounce on it. I'm going to put you on blast. Fast like a NASCAR. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Jeremy says, knowing that I'm the one who pushed to not register in 55, what was that? Will have been weird. Okay. Doomstar, what's up, baby? Doom. Oh, crud. I might have to restart this one if it doesn't go. Sometimes it lags when I... Oh, crud. I think I just closed it. Oh, that's okay. Let me... Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll come back up. Oh, did somebody message me? Oh, I'll have to read that. I don't know what Manji said. If he had said something there to me. Cool. Let me see. So what I got here? Greenville Fork. What's up, Ian? How you doing? What's up? What's up, Fork? What's up, Utensil? Doing good. Doing good, man. Thank you. We are just we're hanging out and basically just playing Where's Waldo, which I might have aged myself there, but that's quite all right. Oh crap! Why am I getting a not responding? Oh, there we go. Yes. I went there. I might have to go open the front door in a moment because I think my kiddos are going to be getting home from the Bussaroonie in a few minutes. Wow, why am I getting a bunch of not responding? So weird. I did. Okay, good. Whew, that was weird. All right, we're going to go 81. I think we have next. Yeah, there we go. Jeremy B, when G3 is finishing their KVK. So Gen 3 will finish here. I'll show you. One moment. So Gen 3 is going to finish on April 1st. That is when they are done. So they finish on the 1st. Most likely, this group is going to start on, I think, the 7th, right? The 6th or 7th. So Yeah, you have. What is it? Oh, painful. No, it's not behind. I'm just catching up, going back forward. So, on the chats. That's all. Yeah. So essentially, we have. Oh, can I click on this? What's going on? There we go. Wow, what is up with all this lag? Okay, cool. Am I good? Yeah, we're good. So yeah, so basically, if it starts on, let's say the 7th or the 6th, at that point, they'll be waiting about a month, and if it's a 40-day season, that actually could line up okay-ish, right? Because that could potentially line up. If they delay G3, G3 could catch up with G2. So that very well could happen, because there might only be about a week and a half to 2 week difference by the time G3 comes out of their KVK pool. So again, G2 could realign with BTX in that Kingdom pool. Yeah, again, that could very much happen based on how the dates look right now. Pocket, you're welcome. Jeremy says, is it the time to tell them there's 66 kingdoms down? No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky and we will catch the 2 new kingdoms. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll get lucky. That's my hope. This thing is loading slow, though. Oh my gosh, what is going on with this load time? Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to do a hard restart on this. Oh, sweet. Look at that. Yeah, God, there's some lag going on. Is anyone else getting some server lag in game? Maybe it's just me. Hopefully it's just me. Yeah, because I know I've been able to load these servers up a lot faster. Oh, you were joking? Oh, I haven't checked yet. I just took that as damn. Now I got more to look for. For my POV, Jeremy says they should have reduced the lengths of the actual season to align to the KVKs. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice, right? I guess where they're, maybe kind of like fine tuning and tinkering it. Like, for example, maybe one KVK is 50 days, the other one's 40, right? Maybe one's 45, the other one's 50, right? Like maybe they plus or minus 5 days, like where it's a small amount, but it helps to align. I think something like that could have been okay to do. Just to try and get them closer together to where it makes it easier to just kind of do a full out delay alignment. Yeah, I'm absolutely in favor of that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, dokie. Let's see. I am going to need to go and unlock my front door here. Let me just switch this. We're going to 89 real quick, because I think I hear the bus outside for my kiddos. So I'll be BRBZ. Okie dokie. That didn't. Oh my god. Let me skadoosh myself back into a comfortable position. Okay. All right, I feel good. All right, we need to find this kingdom. I feel like I'm going at a slowish pace here. 90, then we'll do 119 to see if they went. Jeremy says, because Call of Courage is way too long, almost 3 weeks after Dragon's Zone open. Yeah, no, I again, man, I can only imagine with... Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know why anyone would maybe want to play Calling of Courage anymore, especially when, like, the new season's out. Someone's firing rockets? Or fireworks outside? Jeez. Crazy animals. Crazy animals. Then we got 120, I think, next. Oh, not them. So 145. Okay, so not 145. Next one could be 153. We'll take a look at. And then 161 will be the next one. See if we can find them. I'm hoping it's still at 65. I'll check here. Okay, so still 65. That's good. That's good. And the next one is 161, right? Yeah, we have 153, 161. And then we got 164 for BXS, which I think is going to be their new one that they have. Yeah, fam, if you're just joining us now or still hanging with us, again, we're just going through trying to find the 65th kingdom that has registered so we can update the sheet. And then if some of you guys are just hanging out with us, I will show the sheet off again after we find the kingdom and add them. And as always, if you enjoy, and you are enjoying, throw us up, because it helps out a lot. All right, 164, 176. Then next will be 180 if it's not 176. I tell you, man, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. All right, next will be 181. I think that's where Kong is. We can see if they were the ones. Oh, there we go. We found him. Is that Kong? No. It was 180. All right, we found him. So 180, that's CS. They registered, but their top 300 is under 1 bill power. So again, they're not that strong. But there we go. We found them. They registered. Look at that. You could not hide from my diligence, Demidov. You have been found. I have succeeded. Okay. I feel good. My life feels complete. All right. So I think we're good at the moment for every. Ooh, let's see if there's anyone else that registered. COC should be 4. Wow, it's still showing 3, but it should be 4. 65 and we're good. Okay. Sweetness. Yeah, I'll show this. I'll show this again based on those that registered for those curious. Right, and that'll kind of be in kingdom order. So I'll show that off for some of you all that are just hanging out and joining us now. Yeah. Also, hopefully next time I stream, I will have switched. Oh, oopsies. Oh, I do have to do that. Yeah, hopefully next time I stream, I'll be using the Streamlabs thing so the alerts and stuff will work and we can test those. Yeah, that's my hope to test. So I'm actually gonna work on that tonight, so I can try and have that ready for the next stream. So that way, again, if anyone super chats or members or donates or we get a new subscriber, right, we can get those things that can show up. I think so. Okay, yeah. So we'll show this off, and then we'll skadoosh down to the next ones. Jeremy says, "I'll never understand people who register to old scenario." Yeah, I do find myself thinking more or less the same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I don't really get it. To me, it just kind of feels like been there, done that. I mean, unless the map and the season was just so great that the community is just swaying in that direction, then yeah. Yeah, part of me just feels like I don't understand how you couldn't register for whatever the newest season is out. But I also believe that they should just have one season, right? Sorry, one KVK storyline per season. So everyone has to go into that same kingdom pool, right? Or that same storyline timeline. That way it just continues to help with getting everyone onto the same KVK line. That to me would be so much easier. And I've said this before, right? If you did this in Season of Strife, you would just rotate the storyline. So, one season, it's the newest storyline. If you don't get the newest storyline, then you would play, like you would go for Falling of Dragon, and then the next KVK is Calling of Courage. And then the next one, Falling of Dragon. You just rotate, right? But it just makes it easier that way. Or, even better, have all the kingdoms vote. So like if you have 2 or 3 different KVK storylines, have a 24-hour voting period where all the kings and queens can vote on what KVK storyline they want to play for that season. Majority vote wins. And then that's the single KVK storyline that everyone can register for or skip. Or you just get auto-registered for and there's no skipping. I don't really understand the whole thing about skipping, especially if you're going to try and get everyone into the same KVK pool. Like my whole thing is, man, less is more. Let's work smarter, not harder, right? Let's make it easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. You guys get it. Okay, I'm going to show off the top 300 power one last time. And then I'll see if I can catch up on any chat-related business. And if there's a delay in my kid's bus, maybe I can go catch them before they get off. Because at least when I'm able to, I like to always see them off and get there for when they do. Plus, I got to go walk the dog. And I'm shocked Max isn't barking at me. So I'll show this off, and then we will wrap up in chat. So 32. Yeah, this is just for you guys to kind of get a quick look at the top 300 for kind of what it looks like, what their power is, who's registered, who's not registered, who told me, that they would register or not register, and then kind of what their answer was or what ended up happening. Just Kidding says they did something good with the team up system and throw it away the next season. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the team up system, albeit imperfect, I do think it is a step up from what was being done before. But the challenge is you go right back to kind of just still offering people multiple options to choose between KVK storylines, and all it's doing is just isolating and splitting the kingdom pool up that much more. And then on top of allowing people to skip, now you have 3 different options you can choose from. So yeah, it's rough. Jeremy says, I'm guessing that they were working on this KVK for a long time, so it kept an old system from S2 of Strife. Yeah. I will say the Fall of Dragon map does look really good. Like, I am really excited to see how it plays out. I think it's a good improvement upon the Tamaris map and what they've kind of been working and fine-tuning and building upon from Season 1. So I am excited to see how it plays out. Okie dokie. Well, I think the bus is here. I hear something outside. So again, I'm going to go ahead and end it there, right? As always, though, if you guys look at the pinned comment in the chat, if you do want to get notified for when we go live, you can join the Discord. There's a link to the Discord server. You just have to go to the Reaction Rules channel, and then you'll be able to select that. And again, as always, I'll show that to you here for those of you that are curious on just how you can kind of get there, right? So link is in the top of the pinned comment on the YouTube live chat. Once you join, you'll just click on Reaction Roles, and then you'll see where it says Live Stream Notify. It's the last one. You can click on that. Options to support. There's also links here for those of you that like some information on the DataBot that I use to show in videos, along with for anyone that's looking for some thumbnails. You just want some information on those. And then there's contact information there on those as well. That is going to do it for me, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one at 2 hours. Typically, when I'm able to stream, I'm hoping to kind of go a little bit longer than that now, but I was happy to get a nice short one in because I thought that this was kind of a massive, big piece of news, especially when yesterday there was only about mid to low 30s of kingdoms that registered. So we've kind of had almost double that today. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. As always, until next time, I'll catch you later. Have a good one, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. And remember, be nasty. Be nasty. Be the nastiest that there ever was. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, that's it. Later, fam.